everybody, it's Hexa, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this modern Queen of Hearts inspired Valentine's Day look. So this is kind of what I envisioned to be what the Queen of Hearts would look like if she was like a 20-something-year-old living in the 21st century, like, you know, like a high fashion, fashionable young woman. So I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you guys like this look. And let me know what you think. Oh, also, I forgot, new hair. Hi. We usually go and get haircuts for New Year's, but we didn't go this year on New Year's, so my mom took us out to get haircuts on Chinese New Year. So yeah, it was recently Chinese New Year here, and I went and just got my hair bleached and cut nice and short so I can give it a new beginning to start fresh and grow long again. Also, if you guys are spending Valentine's Day alone, that's totally okay, and, you know, don't be upset about it. I used to get super depressed on Valentine's Day, but now I'm just kind of trying to make the best of it. And I'm actually wearing a shirt that is like so awesome for rebellious single people on Valentine's Day. It's like, if you're single and ready to mingle, just wear this shirt. It's by Abercrombie, and it says, "No Regrets Cafe, brunch, bedheads, and what's his name?" So I think this shirt is just so hilarious, and I will definitely wear this shirt on Valentine's Day. It's just kind of like a fuck you, I don't need to be in a relationship, I don't want to be in a relationship, bam. Okay, so I hope you guys like this video. So the first thing I always do before I put on my makeup is to get some hand sanitizer on my hands, because obviously, you know, you're going to be touching your face, and it's good to make sure that your hands are nice and clean. I've actually already washed them before I started filming, but I'm also going to get some hand sanitizer on. Next, I'm going to go in with my Nivea Mattifying Day Care Aqua Effect cream with SPF 15. This is really great because it mattifies, but it also moisturizes, so I get two effects in one. I'm kind of just going to dot this over my whole face and rub it in. After I let my cream kind of sink into my skin a little bit, I go in with the Babe Skin Pore Eraser by Maybelline. This is not the best primer that I could be using. You know, honestly, with makeup, I'm just very much like, oh my god, all the colors, and then I forget that I also need things like primers and setting sprays, and I tend to spend a lot more on the actual products I use, well, you know, like the colorful things, than I do on primers, setting sprays, and brushes. So that's definitely a problem. This is not the best primer that I could be using, but it's what I have and it works for me. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of that on my finger like this and kind of put that on my T-zone, which is where my pores are more visible. After I do my primer, my hands are usually a little bit slippery, so I usually will wash my hands after I do my primer because I don't want them slipping when I'm, you know, handling makeup brushes and that sort of thing. Next, I'm just going to grab my foundation and pour some of that onto the back of my hand. I'm using the Revlon Color Stay foundation in Ivory. So I've just poured about this much onto my hand. I know it looks like a lot, but I'm going to be applying it with this little makeup sponge, and so a lot of the product unfortunately gets kind of eaten away by the makeup sponge. I really want to invest in a proper beauty blender, but the thing is that they don't sell in China, so if I'm going to invest in a beauty blender, I want it to be the real deal, not like one of those fakes or imitations. So I'm just going to kind of pat my foundation into my skin. With this, I usually spread it out over the large surfaces of my skin, and then I buff it in. And then I also put some kind of like on my neck, and you can buff that all in and get a little bit of it onto your ears as well, especially if your ears are pretty prominent like mine. I mean, because I have a short haircut, so you can always see my ears. So you gotta make sure that those are also matching your foundation. And now I'm kind of just buffing it in. After I finish my foundation and buff it all into my skin, I go in with my Boi-ing Concealer by Benefit in shade 01, and I kind of get a little bit of the product onto my ring finger, and then I kind of like just dab it under my eyes. So it helps to look up when you're doing this so that it doesn't crease too badly. After I've finished my under eye concealer, I'll go in with the Fit Me Pressed Powder by Maybelline New York, and this is in the shade 125 Nude Beige. And I kind of just take the little thingy that they have in here and I get a little bit of product on and press it right under my eyes to kind of bake or to set the under eye concealer. Once I've set the under eye concealer and prevented it from creasing, I can go in with concealer again just for any little spots that I might have on my face. Right now I've got like a little bit of a thing right over here, so I'm just gonna again grab a little bit of product on my ring finger and just pat that onto whatever imperfections I have that I want to conceal. For brows, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Brow Artist Pencil that I talked about in my January 2016 favorites. So I'm just going to kind of use the brush end to just brush my eyebrow hairs upwards. And then I'm going to be using the pencil end to kind of extend the tails of my brows to give it a little bit more drama. Now you can do this however you want to do it. If you want a more natural looking brow, you can extend it only a little bit or just, you know, fill it in, define whatever you want to do. Or if you want to go for a more dramatic look, you can extend your brows a lot. The last time I did this look, I kind of ended up with drag brows, so I think I did a little bit too much extension on the tails of my brows, so this time I'm gonna try to like keep it more natural. So I kind of just, with a really light hand, will extend and define the tails of my brows. Just make sure that they're even on both sides and look about the same. And then I will brush through my whole brow with the Gimme Brow by Benefit in light to medium. They also have the medium to dark of this, and it's a really, really great product. I definitely recommend. I think anyone can learn to use this. It takes a little bit of practice to master how to apply this, but once you get the hang of it, it's amazing. It's like your holy grail. So I kind of like dab off the excess from the little tip of the wand, and then I brush through very lightly. After I fill in my brows with the Gimme Brow, I usually use this little spoolie brush just one last time to brush my brow hairs upwards and make sure that everything is nicely in place the way I want it. Now we're going to be starting on the eyes, so I'm really nervous because now it's getting to the hard part that I'm likely to mess up. So let's just hope that I don't mess this up. So usually, because I don't have a really good eye primer, I just use my boi-ing concealer, again also for priming my eyes for eyeshadow. So as before, as ever, just grab a little bit of the product onto your ring finger and lightly dab that all over your eye area. As soon as you've finished priming your eyes, you need to start working really fast because since I'm using the boi-ing concealer, it will crease, so it's good to just get going as quickly as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my highlight shades for the inner corner of my eye and for right under the brow. And the shade I'm going to be using for that is an eyeshadow by Front Cover. This was from the Macaron palette thing, and the shade I'm using is Buttermilk. It's this really beautiful yellowy creamy color. I'm sorry that the lights are kind of bright and it's not letting me show it to you properly, but it's a really nice shade. It's kind of yellowy gold, and I think it's actually a really nice underbrow highlight or brow bone highlight. And the brush I'm using is just the brush that came with this Front Cover palette that I have. Now, usually I start with my lid color for the eyeshadow, but this time, because I want to do a look that's kind of a little bit darker on the outside and lighter on the inside, I want to start with the darker shade, which is not actually that dark in the first place. And I'm kind of also gonna use the outside shape of my eyeshadow to help me follow along with eyeliner, because eyeliner is definitely the thing that I find most difficult about doing my makeup. So I'm gonna go in with an angled brush, and the shade I'm using is from the Fantastic Color Eyes Flower Bouquet eyeshadow palette by Etude House that I've talked about a lot, and I absolutely love this palette. It's like one of my favorite palettes from my entire makeup collection. It's great. So I'm kind of just gonna dab this angled brush from Sephora right into this kind of mauvey purpley shade right here, and blow off the excess. And I want to have this shade under my lashes, just on the outer third, and use it to create kind of like a V shape or a wing shape on the outside corner of my eye. So you just gotta keep on adding more product onto your brush as you work. So after I've got this little line on the outer corner of my eyes, I'm gonna go in with a lid brush. All of the brushes that I'm using for the eyeshadow are from this set that I got from Sephora. As I said, I don't invest enough in good brushes, but this is a nice set to have just because it's nice and small. It's, you know, travel size, and you can take this with you wherever you go. And I'm using the lid brush because it's a little bit more straight. Like, it's got a nice straight edge, but it's also larger and more fluffy, so I can pack on more product on this. And with this, I'm gonna be grabbing this dusty rose kind of shade over here, and I'm just gonna be following along the line and then brushing the color inwards towards the lid. And then once it gets to the very tip of this line, you can turn it the other way around and just pack it all over your entire eye. I usually stop with this pink shade right around the middle, so around this kind of area, and then as of here on out, I will be just blending it out towards the inside of my eye, towards the inner corner. So just make sure that you pack this all over your whole lid and that it's nice and even. Once I've got that pink shade over my whole lid and all the areas that I want it in, I'm gonna go back in with that nice purple shade, and I'm gonna define my crease with it. So for this, I'm using a crease brush, and I'm just gonna dab that in and go straight into the crease with it. But I want it to be following along this, this line on the outside of my eye. So start there, start on the tip of this little angle that we've created, and then go into the crease with it. Once you've kind of got your crease color down, you might want to fix up the edges of it a little bit, because as you can see over here, it's not quite nicely pointed as I want it to be. So I might go in with the angled brush again if I need to fix up the edges. Next, I want to add a little bit more definition to my crease, just darken it up a little bit really subtly. So I'm going to be using this e.l.f. quad in Pretty in Pink, and it's got two pink shades, one white and one purple. We're going to be going in with the purpley shade, and what I'm going to do is just dab my crease brush into it, but just right on the tip of it, so only get a little bit of product right on the tip of your brush, and then go really, really lightly into the crease, right on the outside. This will make just a really subtle difference to your eye look, just to make it look a little bit more dramatic and give it more dimension. Now that we've pretty much finished up with the eyeshadow, it's getting to the really hard part that I'm really, really worried about, because I definitely do not want to mess this up at this point. Um, the eyeliner, oh no. So, if I do happen to mess this up, please forgive me. I'm really sorry. I'm not a makeup artist, but I do wear makeup a lot and use makeup a lot. I've got a lot of nice products, and I do know some about makeup, but definitely applying eyeliner is one of those things that really requires a lot of practice and expertise, and I do not have that expertise. So everybody has their makeup kryptonite, and eyeliner is mine. So the product I'm going to be using is the Maybelline New York Hyper Sharp Liner. This is a really good liner. I really like it because it's nice and thin, and it's also pretty black, so it's great. It's nice and dark, it's thin, you can add detail with it, so I really like this liner. But unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily help me when I'm messing up the shape of my liner. But it's a little bit easier now because we kind of have the outer angle of the eyeshadow to kind of guide us along. So you just want to follow that shape that we made earlier with the eyeshadow, and you can extend it as far as you want. I don't really want to extend my eyeliner all the way up to this end. I might kind of leave it to the middle. Just however you want to do your eyeliner, just use the guidelines of the eyeshadow to follow along with it. Once I'm happy with the shape that I got with the Hyper Sharp by Maybelline, I'm going to go in with another eyeliner to fill it in. So the one I'm going to be using for this is the Ico London Liquid Eyeliner. That's this. I like it because it's a little bit more black and long wearing than the Hyper Sharp, but it's not as pointy, so it's a little harder to get the shape down with this. So I'll usually use the Hyper Sharp for the outside and then fill it in with the Ico. So now we're done with eyeliner. I definitely drew it really thick. This does give it a lot of drama. You don't have to do it as thick as I did. I don't think I meant to do it as thick as I did. But anyways, just do your eyeliner however you think it looks nice on your eyes and your eye shape. And however you feel comfortable, you know? So now we're gonna go in with mascara. I'm gonna be using two different mascaras. First, I'm gonna go in with Urban Decay Perversion Mascara, and then after that dries a little bit, I'm going to separate my lashes with the Buxom Lash Mascara, and also use the Buxom Lash Mascara for my lower lashes. So first I'm using the Perversion Mascara. And then I'm going to use the Buxom Mascara just to separate my lashes. And then I'm also going to use the Buxom Mascara for my lower lashes. Just, you know, because it's so dramatic up top, so you want it to be a little bit balanced out by the bottom lashes. So eyes are pretty much done. After I do the eyes, I usually start on my contouring, but for this look, since it's a Valentine's Day look, I want it to be a little more fresh-faced and a little bit more dewy and bright. So rather than doing contouring, I'm gonna do strobing. I don't have any proper highlighting brushes, so I'm just gonna be using this regular little fluffy brush. And the highlighter I'm using is also Revlon Color Stay. It's the Mineral Finishing Powder. And let me check. Okay, so this is shade 10 Brighten. And so this is kind of like a white and pink highlighter. And I really like this for the cheeks and for under the brows. But I feel like it's a little bit much for like the nose and the forehead. For me personally, I have a pretty prominent nose and I don't feel the need to highlight it too much. So I'm gonna just use this fluffy brush and start with my cheeks. Just highlight right on the top of the cheekbone. And then I'm gonna use a little bit on my chin as well. And I've found that I always somehow get it too high up on the chin, so I'm gonna try to get it a little bit lower. I think I want more on the cheeks though. And then for the forehead, I tend to over highlight. So right now I'm just kind of gonna pat this brush in to the center of my forehead just a little bit and leave it at that, because my forehead really doesn't need to be highlighted that much. I've got a pretty nice large forehead and it doesn't need to be accentuated excessively. I'm gonna grab my finger and put it in to the product and then just dab a little bit onto the tip of my nose. And as you can see, like that is so bright, you know? So I'm kind of gonna grab the fluffy brush and try to blend that upwards along the bridge of my nose. I'm gonna go back in with the Fit Me powder just to tone down this nose highlight a little bit because wow, this is like excessive. Okay, I think we're good now. So since we've got that really nice golden buttermilk highlight under the brows, I'm not gonna strobe under my brows because I've already got a nice highlight shade there. So we're pretty much done with the highlighting. So I'm also going to use a little bit of blush, and the product I'm using is the Too Cool for School Angel Blusher, Play Cheek Angel Blusher, and they've got, I think, a purpley shade and an orangey shade. Mine is the pink one. And this is a really, really, really light pink. It's so weird. Like, it's the lightest blush I've ever seen. In the bottom of it, it's kind of got this little fluffy thingy, and you kind of use that to dip it into the product. And I want this to be a really sweet kind of look, but I still want this blush to be subtle. So it's very, very angelic and light, and there's also a lot of white glitter in this, so it makes it so shiny when you put it on. I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's really weirdly light. But anyways, I'm just getting this on the apple of my cheeks and spreading it a little bit upwards along my cheekbones because I don't want it to be just like a circle of pink. Essentially for the skin, we're pretty much done. So now we're gonna start with the lips. For the lips, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go full on Queen of Hearts and actually do like a heart-shaped lip. You can definitely do that, and I think that it's really cool. If you have good products to use for that sort of thing, I definitely recommend that you try it. But for me personally, I think I'm gonna go and just use a normal red lip shape for this. Keep in mind that if you're gonna be going on an actual date for Valentine's Day, you should probably use some kind of like transfer-proof liquid lipstick, you know, so you can kiss your date. I'm just gonna be using the Cherry Lip Liner by MAC and my Kat Von D Gold Blooded limited edition lipstick that I got from the Mi Vida Loca set. So first I'm gonna line my lips using the Cherry Lip Liner by MAC. After you've lined your lips, you can fill in your lips still using the Cherry Lip Liner and leave a little bit of space in the center of your lips. Now, if your lips are kind of dry, make sure that you apply a little bit of lip balm before you start this, because obviously since it's a lip pencil and not a lipstick, it will be a little bit more dry. And so if your lips are already dry, use some lip balm just to make sure that the little cracks in your lips don't show. After I filled my lips in with the cherry lip liner and left the little piece in the center empty, I'm going to go in with my Gold Blooded lipstick by Kat Von D, and I'm just going to put that on the center of my lip. This Kat Von D lipstick has a little bit of golden shimmer to it, so it'll add a little bit more brightness to the center of my lip. So that's why I chose to do this like kind of two-toned, because I wanted to have an extra pop of brightness and color in the center. If you have a setting spray at home, this is where you should set your makeup, because we're done with all of the actual makeup part of it, so you can definitely leave it at this if you want. However, I want to add my personal little finishing touch, so I'm gonna grab my little heart-shaped sequins and a little bit of eyelash glue. I have this little pack of heart-shaped sequins in here that I got from some DIY store, and this is just a really, really cheap eyelash glue from a brand called Miniso, which is kind of like a Japanese thing that just sells random cheap little things. It's basically the Japanese version of the dollar store. So I've tried to do this using the glue on the sequin, but I found that to be really difficult. So instead I'm gonna add a tiny little drop of this eyelash glue onto my cheek and then apply the sequin straight onto it. You want it to kind of be in a part of your face that's like high up on your cheekbones. So I'm gonna go with kind of like this sort of area, and I really hope that this does not mess up. So get your sequin ready. I've tried this with tweezers and all sorts of things, but in the end I just figured out that the easiest way to do it is like put it on your finger like this and then tilt your head in weird places and kind of like just ugh. So okay, first I'm gonna put a little bit of eyelash glue onto my cheek. And then I'm going to put this heart on my finger and try to get it onto my face. Yay! Look, it worked! And now I'm just gonna like kind of press it in to make sure that it stays. Okay, so that's our complete Queen of Hearts Valentine's Day look. I hope you guys liked this look, and I hope you can try it out. Let me know in the comments what you think of this look, if you think it's right for you, and if you liked the way that I filmed this tutorial. Honestly, I was really nervous about starting to do makeup tutorials because I still don't have good camera equipment, and I would definitely love to let you guys see this in more detail. So once I do have a proper camera, I'll be able to zoom in on my eyes while I'm doing my eyeshadow and all that kind of thing. So do be patient. I don't have the resources to buy good camera equipment right now, but I'm really hoping to do that. But I still hope that you guys enjoyed the way that I filmed this, and just let me know all of your thoughts. And have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I hope you guys have a lot of fun. I will be sitting at home being single, and that's okay, because being single is awesome, right? I don't need a man or a woman. I am fine, just me, myself, and I, and ice cream and popcorn and movies. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!